Okay, good morning. I'm going to start the class. Nobody has come yet, but I hope that someone will come in the near future. All right, so I'm going to start anyway. Today, we had a homework, which was to correct the guide about travel. Okay, so we are going to take a look at that first. I'm going to share the screen, and we can do the correction of the homework. Okay, let's see. Um, yeah, I have to look for this. Yeah, let me see. I have to, yeah, air travel exercises. This is the one that we're going to check now. Okay. Um, the first part was uh, to complete with the vocabulary that you have in here. It says complete the words or phrases below using words from the box. Okay, last class we were talking about vocabulary related to traveling, all right? So, for example, in here, boarding, you have the boarding card, okay, which is the one that gives you when you start your trip, and they give you a boarding card, okay, which is the one that you can get into the gate in order to take the plane, all right? Then you have excess. Excess is with luggage. Excess luggage is the one that you pay when you have like 23 kilos. You can take in your luggage or in your suitcases 23 kilos, right? So when you go over that, when you are over that number of kilos, you have to pay excess luggage. Then you have the check-in desk. The check-in desk is the one that you have. It's is where you go when you arrive at the airport, and then you have to present your ticket to board the plane, and then you have to go to the check-in luggage or the check-in desk, which is the counter in which you pass your ticket and they weigh your luggage, etc. Okay, in here you have the flight number. Flight number, okay, usually is the one that you have in your ticket. It says, for example, BA, I don't know, 4234. Okay, that is your flight number. Then you have the overhead locker in this case. In the Americans say sometimes, or they call it overhead compartment. Overhead means that it's over you, over your head. Okay, it's there. So you open that and you put your carry-on or your luggage that you take with you, or your hand luggage. Then in here you have departure. Departure goes with lounge. Departure lounge is the one that is in. Sorry, when you pass the custom office, you present your ticket, and then you have to wait. Usually, in that part, you have the free duty free where you can buy things, and you can wait in there for your plane in order to take a plane. Okay. Then you have the baggage reclaim. The baggage reclaim is when you get off the plane, you are off the plane, and then you have to recover your luggage or recover your suitcases. Remember that luggage is a number of suitcases together. That is your luggage. In Spanish, would be equipaje. So the baggage reclaim is a place where you go and wait for your luggage. That usually comes on certain it's a place where you are watching your luggage that passes around. Okay. and then you see the luggage and you pick it up. Okay, in here you have the passport control. When you arrive to the airport, you have to control, and the best control for you is your passport. And finally, the hand in this case would be the hand luggage. It's the luggage that you take with you. Remember that when you travel, you usually take 4 or, well, 2 or 3 suitcases, but also you take something with you, that you take it to the plane, you take it on the plane. The other part goes under the plane, all right? Okay, I'm going to check if someone has come. Okay. Okay, nobody has come, so I'm going to continue. All right. Yeah, this is the first part of this exercise. Yeah, what do you call this? The place where you go when you arrive at the airport with your luggage. The place where you go when you arrive at the airport with your luggage. Okay, and here you have the answers. It's the check-in desk. When you arrive at the airport with your luggage, you go to the check-in desk to weigh your luggage and to present your passport. The card they give you with the seat number on it, which is the boarding pass or the boarding card. What you have to pay if your luggage is very heavy, that you pay excess luggage. Yeah. The bags you carry onto the plane with you, that is the hand luggage. Yeah. The place above your head where you can put these bags, okay, that is the overhead locker. The overhead locker. The part of the airport where the plane accelerates and takes off, that is called the runway. I'm going to write it in here. The runway. The runway is where the plane accelerates and takes off. Okay, remember that to take off is when the plane starts like flying. That is to take off. The people who look after you on the plane, that is the plane crew. What is the crew? The hostesses and the hostess, and also the pilot. That is the crew. The pilot, the hostess, and people that work on the plane when you're flying. And another verb used to say rent a car is you hire a car. You can use both of them, hire or rent. Okay? Now, complete the sentence with a suitable word. And here you have, there was a mechanical problem and we ended up with a 2-hour delay. Delay is when you start your flight later than the time that was supposed to start. Okay. Several passengers had to fill in landing cards. The landing cards are the card that the hostess or the stewardess gives you on the plane for you to complete your information. For example, in there you have to put your name, the place where you're going, why you're going to that country. So this is the information that you have to present then in the customs. That is for that landing card. Okay. Remember that that land is the opposite of takeoff. Okay. The planes take off, the planes land. Okay. That is the difference between one and the other. Then it says here, I went through passport control and sat in the departure lounge. Okay. The lounge or the departure lounge is where you wait for your flight. Okay. If you have nothing to declare, you follow the green sign when you go through customs. Yeah, to go through customs is when you have to pass all your luggage and then they make you open the luggage, open your suitcases. If they suspect that you are taking illegal things to the other country, they make you open your luggage. They say, okay, open your luggage, and they see if what you're taking with you was declared and if it is legal. Yeah. For example, if you take, I don't know, 2 or 3 notebooks, that is not legal. Okay, you have to declare that in advance before. For example, if you are coming from the United States, in the United States, you have to say, I am taking three, I don't know, 3 notebooks, and then you have to pay for that. You pay either in there or in here. Okay, so when they open your luggage or they open your suitcases, they see that you are not taking anything illegal. That is the customs. Okay, so you have to go through customs. Go through customs. Okay, and then it says number 5. A woman at the check-in desk weighed my luggage. My luggage. Right. Then number 6. I looked for our flight number on the departure board. Or you can say departure screens. Okay, when you arrive at the airport, you usually have to, there is a list of flights on big screens or boards. Okay, and you see, you have to check if your flight is correct with your ticket. If you have, I don't know, they usually write that in there. It says, for example, land, I don't know, that is the flight number, land 7432, and then they put in there to and the place you're going, at, departure time, and then they put you if it is ready to depart, etc. And then you check that. And you check that in those big screens that you have at the entrance. And then in there you say, when you check your flight, then you have to go to the gate. You have to go to gate 13, gate 14, gate 16, whatever. Okay? So because it goes different gates. Gates are like, in Spanish would be something like las mangas, okay? O a las entradas de los aviones. Entonces, en estas pantallas uno tiene que checar que su vuelo está y por qué puerta tiene que ir, por qué entrada tiene que ir. Y ahí a la entrada llega para tomar el vuelo, right? O tomar el avión. So that is the idea. That is the vocabulary that you have to use when you are going to fly. All right? Next, let's see. It says here, fill the gaps in this letter. It says, Dear Tom, I have just arrived in Rome, but I'm still recovering from a really terrible flight. 2 hours late. So what you have in there? I think could be we arrived 2 hours late because of bad weather. And then over the channel, we had more bad weather. Yeah. Who told us to our seatbelts? So the hostess or the stewardess could be, sorry. We're going to use better hostess. It's more popular. Yeah, the hostess told us to this, or what do you call that, is to fasten our seatbelts. To fasten our seatbelts, which worried me a bit. Yeah. And for half an hour, we went through, went through a terrible storm. I was almost sick, but the cabin crew, that means all the people that work on the plane, the cabin crew were really nice. It was still raining and very windy when we arrived in Rome. One thing that you have to be careful about is that with the verb arrive, when you arrive at a small place, you arrive at a small place. For example, I arrive at the airport, I arrive at the office, I arrive at the hospital. But when you arrive in a big place like a city, you say, I arrived in Rome, I arrived in Santiago, I arrived in New York. Okay, so be careful with that. So you arrive at a small place, you arrive in a big place. Okay, so the preposition in here is very important. So it says, we arrived in Rome, and I was really glad to bajarme, just to get off the plane and get into the airport building. I really hope, oh, something happens here. Let me put it bigger. Yeah, I really hope the return flight is a lot better. Let me, flight is a lot better. Tiare. Okay. Hi, Tiare.
Hi.
Okay, you are the first one. So I was talking alone. I was correcting the homework that I gave you the other time. I'm going to do it for you pretty fast, okay? If you see here, remember that I gave you this material in order to complete using the vocabulary. Okay, I explained here, for example, boarding was with card, boarding card. Excess luggage is the luggage, or when you have extra luggage, when you have more than 2 or 3. Remember that when you travel, if you're going to travel one day, you have to have a certain number of kilos that you have to take. I think nowadays it's 23 kilos is the amount. So for that reason, when you arrive at the check-in desk, you have to weigh your luggage. Do you understand the word weigh, Tiare?
Hmm?
Do you understand it?
What
This
did
one,
you say?
this one. I put it in here, but not
Ah,
this one.
yes.
Weigh. What is weigh?
Peso.
Peso, yeah. But in this case, it's pesar.
Ah,
Peso,
okay.
peso, as a noun is weight. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Weight is pesar. For example, this is a verb. So, for example, you say pesaron, weighed. It's a regular verb.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
So when you arrive at the check-in desk, you have to weigh your luggage, and the luggage has to weigh only 23 kilos. If your luggage weighs, I don't know, 30 kilos, then you have to pay extra for that. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's the you have to pay a fine for that, and it's very expensive sometimes. Okay, let's continue. Then you have excess luggage. Then the check-in desk is where you put your luggage, etc., and you show your passport. Flight number is that is in your ticket. You have a flight number that says the number of your flight and of your plane. All right. Then the overhead locker is where you put the things that you take with you onto the plane. Departure large is where you wait for your flight. So you have to go through customs, pasar la aduana, you show there your boarding pass, and then you go into a departure lounge, which is a place very comfortable with lots of places to buy things. You have the duty free in there, and you can sit and read and whatever you want, waiting for your plane in a very comfortable way. That's a departure lounge. Yeah, the baggage
Okay.
claim is where you pick up your luggage when you get off the plane. You have to wait for your luggage. The luggage start appearing on belts. That is the word that I missed. They have belts that goes with your luggage, and then you have to wait for your luggage until it appears, and then you pick it up. Okay.
Okay.
This is very boring first because you have to wait a long time sometimes, and your luggage doesn't appear, and you have more than 2 or 3 pieces. Sometimes you have to wait a long time because you have 2 pieces and there is one missing, and then you have to wait for it. Okay. One thing,
Mhm.
Tiare, that is important for you to know and for all the students, the word luggage, yeah, I'm going to write it in here. Do you understand the word luggage?
Yes.
Yes, right. So the luggage are the suitcases that you take. Okay, you can have 1, 2, or 3 suitcases, but luggage, be careful with that. Luggage is always uncountable. Uncountable. So you can't say, for example, I have 2 luggages. Yeah. How do
Okay.
you make it countable? You do it like this: pieces of luggage. Pieces of luggage. For example, they have to ask you, how much luggage do you have? Then you have to say, I have 3 pieces. 3 pieces of luggage. Okay? But the question is with how much, not with how many, because luggage is uncountable. So the question would
Yes.
be like this. Okay? How much luggage do you have? And then you say, I have 3 pieces of luggage. See?
Yes.
Yeah. So the word luggage is very picky in English. So it would be like in Spanish, suitcases, maletas, luggage, equipaje. And I think it is the same in Spanish, because you don't say cuántos equipajes, you say cuánto equipaje. ¿Ya? Pero si tú quieres hacerlo contable, tienes que usar la palabra pieces, lo mismo que haces con el pan o con la torta. ¿Ya? O con cualquier cosa que es no contable. ¿Ya?
Okay.
Por ejemplo, el pan, tú sabes que no es contable. Tú no puedes decir bread, no lo puedes poner en plural. ¿Cómo lo haces plural? Por ejemplo, you can say, I bought or I ate today 2 pieces of bread, not 2 breads, like in Spanish. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The same happens with luggage. All right. How much luggage do you have? I have 3 pieces of luggage. But you can say, I have 3 suitcases. Suitcases is plural. It can be plural, so it's no problem with that. I have 3 suitcases or 3 bags. All right. Okay. So anyway, Tiare, in here I answer all these things. You can see it later when you
Okay.
watch the video. And we completed this also to this letter. And finally, it says here, answer the questions if you don't fly very much. Try to ask someone who does. I think that this is not for you because I know that you haven't flown, all right? So
Yes.
you can say that. But you can ask me, and I'm going to tell you. Ask me the question, and then I'm going to tell you my experience. And in that way, we can make certain interchanges. Read the question, said Diare, for me.
Okay. What is the most interesting part of the flight, and what is the most boring part?
One pronunciation correction, Tiare. Usually you say most, not most. Most.
Okay. Most.
Yeah, read it again.
What is the most interesting part of the flight, and what is the most boring part?
Ooh, for me,
Yes.
I don't have, for me, interesting part. I don't like flying. I told you the other day. So for me, there is nothing interesting. I would say it's a little bit exciting because you get nervous, but it's all the thing is boring for me. Yeah. The only good thing about when you are on a plane is that you sometimes can watch videos. I remember that I once I watched Big Bang Theory for the first time, but I was all night watching the videos because I couldn't sleep. So that is kind of funny, all right? Fun. It's a little bit fun. Also, it's fun when you eat because you forget that you're flying, okay? When they serve you food, that could be kind of, the rest is pretty boring because I can't sleep. Okay, Um, Number two, Thierry,
Where do you often have delays and why?
delays.
Delays.
Right. Delays. Why do you have delays? Usually you have delays in when you change planes, for example. And why? Because sometimes the plane is not I don't know, it's not in good working order. There are certain things that are happening to the plane. It has certain problems. So in that case, you're going to have a delay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
The next one.
Um, what do you usually do during the flight?
Okay. What do I do? I watch videos. I watch movies if I can. That is the only fun thing for me on a flight. And the last one?
And do you always eat the food they give you? Do you ever drink alcohol on the flight?
And you pronounce it
Alcohol.
alcohol. Alcohol. Yeah. Yeah. I usually eat the food, not all, but you know what they give me. It's okay, except in Chile, because in Chile, LAN or LATAM gives you what people call it la cajita feliz, which is not very good. Okay, but usually on international flights, they give you very good food. Okay, and I usually eat, and I eat because I am bored. Okay, I want to forget about that I am on the plane, so I eat. And drinking alcohol, yes, I drink alcohol, especially because I am I am scared. I am usually scared or afraid of flying. So for that reason, I try to drink. I told you the once that the first time that I flew to the United States, I drank a lot of whiskey because I wanted to sleep, and in the end, I just became very talkative, but I couldn't sleep anyway. All right. Yeah, but I drink nowadays. In the past, it was free. You didn't pay for alcohol, but now if you want to drink alcohol, you have to pay for it. Okay, so that's something different. Okay, so you can see the rest in the video, this part. We're going to continue now with the second part, which is let me see, I have to do something here. We're going to continue with the book. Yep, let's see. Where is it? Here, live 4. We're going to start Unit 5, okay? Unit 5, in the last class, we were talking about the beginning of it, but now we're going to go into the first thing. Yeah, here we are. Walking for wildlife, okay? Yeah. Yeah, this is, we're going to know about a little bit about this guy. His name is Mark Fay, and he's a famous person, okay? Before going into his biography, um, uh, let's see, Kimberly, try to read a little bit of this. Okay, wait. Yeah, we're going to talk about his route. His route is in here. So read this. This is a start, and this is what he continued doing. Read this, please, Kimberly.
Okay. The route of Mike
The
Fay's trek.
route,
The, the route of Mike Fay's trek. The solid line shows the completed route.
route.
The problem line, the broken line is the proposed final section.
Okay, you have to know that this guy is a conservationist, okay? And he did this, that we're going to know a little bit of it in the reading, okay? So this is his route. He started here, and he finished like in here, right? It says here, the route of Mike Fay's trek. What is a trek, Kimberly? Do you understand the word trek?
No.
No? Do you, Tiare?
I'm guessing it's like a sport, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe
Yeah.
trekking.
Trekking is is a sport, but the
Oh,
trek.
okay.
What is to trek? What is a trek? Sorry, not to trek. A trek.
No, we don't know. Sorry.
It's walking. Yeah, walking. So that means that this guy walks all this way, right? So imagine here we have countries in here. Yeah. So yeah, the proposed route was all this up to here, but he did up to here only. So the solid line, this is the solid line, right? Shows the completed route, what he completed. The broken line, which is this, is the proposed final section. He didn't do that part. That was the proposed route. Okay? Yeah, I want you to know a little bit about this man, and I have to get off here again, and let's read a little bit about him. Okay? Yeah. Oops. I have to go into YouTube. Let's wait. Mike Fay. What happens? Oops. Nothing happens. Yeah, let me just use videos. Oh, it doesn't appear what I was. I couldn't. Let me wait. Mike Fay. It appears another guy. It's Mike Fay. Yeah.
Every year, Team Mountain Film meets up with a few of its most intriguing guests in an interview series called Minds of Mountain Film. Within these discussions, we get to find out.
I think it's too low.
Sí, profe, se escucha bajito.
Yeah, here. Yeah, this is the guy.
Guests in an interview series called Minds of Mountain Film. Within these discussions, we get to find out the inspiration behind some of the ideas and films here today. Next up, we're going to hear from Mike Fay, National Geographic explorer and famous for his 2,000-mile trek across Africa called the Mega Transect.
Welcome to yeah. So this is he's a photographer, conservationist, and he works for National Geographic. And he became famous to do this trekking in Africa that it was called the I forgot the name, but transaction. No, it's let me see. I'm going to hear it again. Wait.
Here today. Next up, we're going to hear from Mike Fay, National Geographic explorer and famous for his 2,000-mile trek across Africa called the Mega Transect.
Mega Transect.
Welcome to Minds of Mountain Film. I'm Josh Bernstein, and my guest today is conservationist Mike Fay. who really needs no introduction, Mike. You're an old friend of Mountain Film. You are a world-renowned conservationist, long-distance hiker, National Geographic Explorer in Residence, Wildlife Conservation Society, longtime supporter, and now running the parks in Gabon. Where should we start? I mean, it seems like I could have endless questions for you.
Let's not start at the beginning.
Okay, fair enough. But if we could, let's go through the mega transect first, because I think that is what most people came to associate with you.
Well, in 1997, we had a big war in Congo, and so we changed our base from Brazzaville to Libreville in Gabon, and I would go to Gabon quite a bit. But also things got very kind of, I would just say that the war changed me in a very fundamental way, and the way it changed me was that I realized that humans can just basically do anything they want whenever they want to do it. You don't have to.
Okay, so just that was the idea, only for you to know it a little, to know him a little bit, all right? So this man is very important, okay? And why did he do this? We're going to learn in here, why did he do this mega transect? Yeah, so let's read about it, and then we're going to answer the questions that you have in here. Okay? Let's read this first. Okay, Tiare, you are going to start reading. I'm going to correct you when necessary, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Start reading, read from the title, and then 1, 2, and 3, please.
Okay. Walking for Wildlife. National Geographic Profile,
Geographic.
Mike Fay.
Geographic.
Geographic.
Not geographic. It's National Geographic Profile. Again.
Geographic Profile.
Yeah.
Okay. He is a biologist.
Biologist.
He's a biologist with the Wildlife Conservation Society. He has lived in Central Africa for 6 years. Fay has worked on several major conservation projects in Africa and America. He has counted all the elephants in the Central African country of Chad twice. He has walked over 1,800 miles across North America.
Okay, one little parenthesis, Tiare. You can say 1,800 miles. That's one way to say it. Or you can also say 1,800 miles, which is the same. 1,800.
Okay.
Tú puedes decir 1,800 o 1,800 en inglés. Okay?
Okay.
So it's the same thing. 1,800 or 1,800 miles. Okay, continue. He spends
so much time outdoors that he hasn't slept in a bed more than 50 times in the last 10 years. A few years ago, he survived a plane crash, and on one trip, he came face to face with a very angry elephant that attacked him. Amazingly, his injuries.
Do you understand the word here, Tiare?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Injuries
weren't life-threatening. Less dramatically, but just as seriously. He has had malaria in Africa many times, and once he almost died.
All right. Okay. So it's interesting, his life. Okay. He has lived in Central Africa for 6 years, and he has worked in several conservation projects in Africa and in America. And this is interesting. He has counted all the elephants in Central African country of Chad twice. He has counted 1, 2, 3, 4. He knows how many elephants there are in there. Okay. Yeah. He has also survived a plane crash. He hasn't slept too much in beds. So he's an adventurer in general. Okay, let's see, Kimberly, go on reading number 4 and 5, please.
Okay, just a warning. My internet is very slow today, so if you guys hear me like a robot sometimes, just let me know, okay?
I couldn't hear you well, so will you repeat?
I was saying that my internet is very slow today, so if you at a point you guys cannot hear me, just let me know, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so it says, Fay travels light. He usually just takes a t-shirt, a pair of shorts, and his favorite footwear, sandals. His most recent pair of sandals lasted 1,200 miles before they fell apart. The few items he never travels without include his pen knife, a lighter, and a sleeping mat. Fay wants to show people how beautiful and precious the planet is, so they will take care of it, and he succeeds. His work has drawn attention to conservation issues and made people act. After he started work on the elephant project in Chad, the number of elephant deaths fell significantly. And in Gabon, the government has created 13 new national parks covering 10,000 square miles of forest.
All right. Can you see how important this person is? Okay, in here you have the definition of trek. Okay, trek, a long, difficult journey, usually on foot. Okay, that is a trek. Okay, so this man, when he started counting the elephants, then after that he counted the elephant in Chad, there was a reduction in the deaths of elephants because the government could control the people who were killing the animals. Okay, so it's very interesting. And also, when he started like doing this mega transect, the government of Gabon, for example, helped him to create 13 new national parks. So he's trying to conservate the planet. That is his job. Okay. So now we are going to go into the listening. Okay. It says here, look at the map showing the conservationist Mike Fay's trek through Central Africa. Choose the option you think are correct. Then listen to part of a radio program and check. Okay, you have in here, the trek covers almost 2,000 miles, over 3,000 miles. The route goes through Kenya, Gabon. Fay and his companions are on a walking vacation, working on a project. The best way to travel in this area is on foot and by boat, or by motorbike and jeep. It will take 5 months, 15 months to complete the trek. Okay, so let's see this. Let's do it. Oh, wait. Yeah, this is the thing that we have to know, or we have to answer. So let's see.
Conservationist Mike Fay is somewhere in Central Africa. He's in the middle of the longest walk of his life, so far. Fay is traveling almost 2,000 miles through the dense forests of Congo and Gabon. He's lived in the area for several years, and he's worked on various forest conservation projects there. Now Fay and his team are making a record of the region's ecosystems and wildlife, especially in the unexplored and unexploited areas. Traveling through untouched forest and down wild rivers to remote villages, they can only travel on foot or by boat. They've completed about half of the route. The trek will take about 15 months to complete through what Fay calls the last wild place on Earth.
Okay. Okay. Could you see or check the answers for this? The trek covers almost 2,000 miles or over 3,000 miles. What do you think?
2,000?
2,000?
Yes.
Okay. The route goes through Kenya or through Gabon? Open your microphones. Kenya or Gabon?
I don't know.
You don't know. Kim?
I think it was Gabon, but my internet is so slow that I couldn't really hear.
Yeah, let's see. Okay. Fay and his companions are on a walking vacation, working on a project.
Working on a project?
Working on a
Yes.
project. Yeah. The best way to travel in this area is on foot and by boat or by motorbike and jeep.
Foot and by boat.
Foot and by boat. And finally, it will take 5 months, 15 months to complete the trek.
15.
15 months to complete the trek. Okay, you were excellent. Now we're going to listen to it again, but now I want you to read the script because it's better to understand, although you did it quite well, okay? So let's see it.
Conservationist Mike Fay is somewhere in Central Africa. He's in the middle of the longest walk of his life, so far. Fay is traveling almost 2,000 miles through the dense forests of Congo and Gabon. He's lived in the area for several years, and he's worked on various forest conservation projects there. Now Fay and his team are making a record of the region's ecosystems and wildlife, especially in the unexplored and unexploited areas.
Okay, this is interesting, okay? It says here, he's working various conservation projects. Now Fay, what is he doing? Fay and his team are making a record. They are registering the region's ecosystems and wildlife. Do you understand the word wildlife?
Yes.
What is wildlife? Kimberly, what is wildlife?
Like animals that are wild.
Yeah, all the animals are wild. Okay, so we don't know how many animals are there, but he made a registration of those animals. He made a record of it. Okay, so it's quite difficult to do it, all right? Okay, and especially in unexplored and unexploited areas. Okay, so let's continue.
Traveling through untouched forest and down wild rivers to remote villages, they can only travel on foot or by boat. They've completed about half of the route. The trek will take about 15 months to complete through what Fay calls the last wild place on Earth.
All right, interesting. You were right, Kimberly. They said route. I thought it was route, but it is route. What they pronounce it that way. Okay, so that is kind of the story of this person, which is pretty interesting. Okay, now we can answer about this part before going into the grammar aspect. Okay, here you have 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. Okay, in here it says, read the profile of Mike Fay. Write the number of the paragraph 1-5 next to the headline. And here you have, Tiare, read A, B, C, D, and E. Read them, please.
Has he had any dangerous experience? What
Experience.
has he done?
What has he done?
Done.
Yeah.
What luggage does he usually take? Who is he? Why does he do it?
All right. So if I say he's a biologist with the Wildlife Conservation Society, he's lived in Central Africa for 6 years, what is the question that you would choose in here?
D. D. Who is he?
Yeah. E. Who's he? All right. So he's a biologist. Okay. Number 2, Fay has worked on several major conservation projects in Africa and America. He's counted on all the elephants in the Central African country of Chad twice. He's walked over 1,800 miles across North America. He spent so much time outdoors that he hasn't slept in bed more than 50 times in the last 10 years? What would be?
What has he done?
What has he done? Okay, he has worked several major conservation projects. Yeah, okay. A few years ago, he survived a plane crash, and on one trip, he came face to face with a very angry elephant that attacked him. Amazingly, What would be number 3 then?
A. Has he had any?
Yeah. Has he had any dangerous experiences? Yeah. Okay. Number 4. Fay travels light. He usually just takes a t-shirt, a pair of shorts, and his favorite footwear, sandals. His most recent pair of sandals lasted 1,200 miles before they fell apart. The few items he never travels without include his penknife, a lighter, and a sleeping mat.
Lugs he usually
Which one?
Yes. C.
Yeah.
see.
What luggage does he usually take? He doesn't take a lot of luggage. He travels light, okay? And so finally, Faye wants to show people how beautiful and precious the planet is, so they will take care of it. So what would be the last question?
Letter E. Why does he do it?
Why does he do it? All right, that's it. Why does he do it? Okay, so we have here a man who is in charge of, make us realize how wonderful our planet is, okay, and the way we are destroying it. That's the idea in here. Yeah. Now, are the sentences true or false? Test your memory. Then read the profile again and check. Number 1, read it, Kimberly, and tell me if it is true or false.
He's done conservation work in Africa, but not in America.
True or false?
I think it's false.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure
would
about
say
that.
that it is true. I don't know if I know that he has done work in Africa,
In
but
Africa,
I don't know in America.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know
I'm
if
just
they mentioned that. Okay, good. Probably you have better memory than me, Kimberly. What about the second one, Tiare?
He has slept in
Slept.
50 different beds in the last 10 years. False.
Why?
Here says he hasn't slept in a bed more than.
Yeah, more than 50 times. All right, okay.
Yes.
Number 3, Kimberly.
An elephant nearly killed him once. True?
True, okay. Although it didn't kill him, it was dangerous, but I think that they say that it wasn't a threatening, like life-threatening thing. I wouldn't say that yet. There was an elephant that attacked him, but not, I wouldn't say that it killed him or it almost killed him. I would say that is false in this case, huh? Yeah, because it wasn't a threatening life experience. Okay, Tiare?
He wore his last pair of
Fair.
sandals for 100
1,000.
1,200 miles. I think it's true.
Yeah,
I
that is
don't know.
true. That is true. And finally, Kimberly?
He has succeeded in his aim with his work. True.
Yeah, he has succeeded in his aims with his work. How do you know that?
Because in the end, it says that he has made. Wait, let me read it. It says.
What?
That he has decreased the number of deaths in elephants, and that he aims to people to take care of the planet and based on the text, it says that he has completed his aim. Not completely, of course, but at least a little bit.
Yeah, and what about the parks, the national parks? I would say that another aim that he had is he has contributed to create 13 new national parks, places where the animals can be free, but they cannot be attacked. Those are those national parks for, right? The animals are free. They are not in zoos, but they are in parks. But the difference is that in these parks, the animals are free, but they cannot be attacked by any man, right? They are protected. So that is also what he wanted. Do we have any kind of parks here in Chile? I wouldn't say like as big as those ones, but I mean similar to those ones.
Can you repeat the question, please?
If there are parks like these ones, like big parks in which animals are protected, but they are free.
No, I don't know.
Do you know, Kimberly?
I'm not sure. Maybe like a park safari type of thing, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I think that, well, there are still zoos, but they are bigger than the ones that we have. We have a big zoo in Santiago, right? But there is one in Buin, and that is called the Buin Zoo. But I think that in that place, animals are in open areas, not in cages. All right, because in Santiago, have you ever gone to the zoo in Santiago? Have you?
Yes.
Yes, you have, right? So in the zoos in there, the animals are in cages, most of them. So they are in small areas, small places. Yeah. But in the Buin Zoo, I think I haven't gone, but I think that in the Buin Zoo, the animals can walk around. Now, in these parks that they have in Africa, the animals are almost free. They are huge territories, but in those areas, the animals are free, but hunters can go and kill them. So that is the big thing about these parks. Okay, yeah. What do you think about, for example, zoos and circuses, for example, Kimberly? What do you think about that? What's your opinion?
On zoos, I mean, I like them, but I think that, like you said, it's not okay for animals to be on cages. So I think that it will be better if they're just left alone. And so, even though I have been to the zoo many times, I'm not okay with it completely. And circuses, not at all. I don't think they should be allowed to have animals, and I don't
Yeah.
think they are allowed anymore, at least here.
Have you gone to circuses?
A few times, but I don't really like it.
Yeah. What about you, Thierry? What do you think about circuses and what do you think about zoos?
Circuses, I hate it.
I
Circuses is
hate them
a
because you're talking in plural. I hate them because you're talking in plural. All right? You hate them?
circo, ¿quieres
Okay.
decir? Circo?
Yeah. But the plural is
Um,
circuses. All right? So you
um,
said circuses, so I hate them. All right?
I hate them.
Yeah. And what about
And
zoos?
I don't like it, them.
You don't like them either. Okay? Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I think that as well, I don't like circuses at all. I mean, I used to go when I was a child, but then I decided not to go anymore because I think that the animals suffer in there. For example, I remember that those big circuses, like Las Águilas Humanas, I remember, they have lions in small cages. They couldn't even walk inside the cages, all right? Elephants. So there were huge animals in small cages. So that is cruel and inhuman, right? So for that reason, I hate circuses. I think that circuses could have only jaggers jugglers, I think it is the word. Jugglers, people that, make things with, um, or people that have certain shows, but animals shouldn't be allowed in there, as you said, Kimberly. And in terms of zoos, I think that there are zoos which are big and the animals are well cared. But for example, in Quilpué, there is a small zoo in there, and I think that they have very little space, so I don't like it very much either. But the good thing about zoos is that children can see the animals very close, right? And that is kind of better, yeah. But I would like to go on those big zoos in which you don't have it's like a park, not a zoo. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go back to this man later, but now we're going to focus on the grammar aspect. Okay, we're going to work with the present perfect and the simple past. Kimberly, read that, please. Look at the example.
Which one?
Number 5 in there.
Okay, says he's had malaria in Africa many times, and once he almost died.
Okay.
Should I continue? We use the present perfect.
It says he's had malaria in Africa many times, and once he almost died. He's had. That means he has had malaria in Africa, or malaria in Africa many times, and once he almost died. Okay. Yeah, read this. What you have to choose, or either present perfect or simple past.
We use the present perfect simple past when we don't say exactly when something happened. We use the present perfect simple past when we say or it is clear from the context when something happened.
Okay, so now we have to choose. When do we use the present perfect? And when do we use the simple past?
I think the second one.
Okay, but for example, in the first one, you have a sentence in there. He's had malaria in Africa many times, and once he almost died. In the first one, you are using the present perfect, and in the second sentence, you are using the simple past. All right. So when or in what situations I use the present perfect, and in what situations I use the simple past?
And the first one is present perfect, I think.
Yeah. So?
And the second, simple past.
Yeah, okay. So you have to say then we use the present perfect when we don't say exactly when something happens. Yeah. For example, he has had malaria in Africa many times. We don't say exactly when that happened. Okay. And we use the simple past when it is clear, when something is clear from the context. Yeah. When it happened. Okay. So that's the idea. All right. Yeah. Before going into this part, I'm going to show you. I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to show you something about the present perfect, the structure, and all those things. Let's see. I think I have it in here. Document the present. There it is. Yeah. I'm going to upload this, but this is kind of the structure of the present perfect. Okay. In the present perfect, you have the subject, the auxiliary have, but in the present, and the main verb, or the most important verb, in the past participle. Okay? So, for example, I, we, you, they have, oops, doesn't change. Why not? Why it doesn't change? Oop, Nothing happens. Well, anyway. Well, I, will, you, they have, and then the main verb understood in the present perfect. I mean, in the past participle, right? Understood? No. Oh, there you go. I don't know what's going on with that part. So, have understood. And when it is third person singular, okay, in here you use has. He or she or it has already arrived. Yeah, has for the third person singular, arrived. Yeah, so that is the structure of the present perfect. I, will, you, they have plus the past participle. He, she, it has plus the past participle. Sorry. Okay, that is the structure. Now, in here, I put some examples. For example, the negative form. I have here positive. I have seen the Titanic. You have eaten mine. She has been to Rome. We have not played football. But if you want to make it negative, you have to put in here the negative form. Okay? I have not seen the Titanic. We have not played football. She has not been to Rome. Right? So that is the way you make the negative. Now you can make it together in here, for example. You can say haven't, right? Haven't or hasn't. Sorry. Would be the same thing. If you use hasn't, you don't have to use not because you already have it, all right? Okay? So she hasn't been to Rome, or we have not played football. Now, what happens with the question? With the question, have, remember that is an auxiliary verb, so it can be moved at the beginning, and then you ask the question. Have you finished? Have they done it? Okay, so that's the way it works. In the present perfect, you can also have like a, like a contraction. Okay, these are the construction for the present perfect. For example, I have is contracted I've. You have you've. He has his. She has she's. It has its. John has John's. The car has the cars. And then remember that in here you have to use, right? You can do it in here. In here you have to do it with plus. Let's see. I know I cannot write in here. I don't know why, but you have to use a present. Sorry, past participle. For example, he has studied English. The car has broken completely. We've gone many times. Okay. So in here I wrote some examples. For example, she's told that before. Sorry. Meaning she has. She has told that before. I haven't seen Harry Potter. Yep. So that's the way you use the present perfect. Now, when to use the present perfect? You have, I chose like 3 ways in which we use the present perfect. I wrote like 3. There are more, but these are the most important. Number one, for experiences. When you want to talk about experiences that you have had in your life, you use the present perfect. For example, I have seen an alien. He has lived in Bangkok. Have you been there? We have never eaten caviar. All right. Can you mention any experience that you have had in your life that you can tell me? or that you haven't had in your life that you can tell me? For example, if I have to talk about me, I would say, for example, I have, I don't know, I have eaten moose. You know what the moose is? It's the animal with those big horns in here, right? That's moose. So I have eaten moose. Once I ate moose in Canada, I think it was, right? And thing that I haven't done, for example, I have never um I have never done bungee jumping, right? Now, what experience have you had in your life, and what experience haven't you had in your life? Kimberly, tell me one on one. Are you there, Kimberly? No, it seems that she's not there. Okay, Tiare, what about you?
I have never eaten cochayuyo.
No, they say it's good. I have never eaten either, but they say it's good. My wife eats cochayuyo. I hate the smell. Oh, the smell is
Blech.
terrible. Yeah, okay. Good, Tiare. And another thing, what you have done. You have never eaten cochayuyo. Something that you have done.
Mm, I have been in Talcahuano.
You've been in Talcahuano. All right. Did you like it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. What did you like the most? Concepción or Talcahuano?
Um, Talcahuano.
Talcahuano, all right. It's like Valparaíso, Viña, Coquimbo, La Serena, Concepción,
Yes.
Talcahuano, right? It's kind of the same idea. You have a city port and a kind of a big city. In Valparaíso, most people like Viña more than Valparaíso, but the ones who are from Valparaíso, we love Valparaíso more than Viña. Are you from Viña, Tiare?
Yes.
Were you born in Viña?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
You were born in Viña, so you are a Viña Marina then. No, I am a
Mhm.
porteño. I love Valparaiso.
Mhm.
Okay, so that is one thing that you use the present perfect for an experience, to talk about an experience that you have had in your life. Okay, another way is to talk for a change. For example, when you say, I have bought a car. Yeah, I have bought a car. So in the past or yesterday, you didn't have a car, but now you have a car. So I have bought a car. John has broken his leg. Yesterday, John's leg was okay, but now his leg is broken. So you say John has broken his leg. Be careful that, because in Spanish, how would you say that in Spanish? I have bought a car. Me compré un auto. Pero me compré un auto es pasado nomás. Pero en inglés, cuando ellos están hablando, when they talk about as something that they have done lately, they can use both the simple past or the present perfect. So they can say, I bought a car, or I have bought a car. When you say I have bought a car, you say, or you try to emphasize that the change has happened lately. All right. You can say I bought a car, I don't know, last year. But when you say I have bought a car, that means that you have done that not long time ago, right? There is a little difference in that. Okay. And then the third case, which is the most typical one, is when you talk about, well, where I went, sorry. In here, I want to do this. Okay. The one that is most typical is for a continuing situation. Tiare, read that. Read this, please, Tiare.
We use present perfect to talk about a situation that started in the past and continues in the present and will probably continue in the future.
Okay, see? So this started in the past, but is now happening still. For example, I have worked since June. So when did you start working? In June last year. But you're still working. So the thing hasn't changed. Okay. Now he's been ill for 2 days. So 2 days ago he started getting ill. Then he's ill now, and probably he's going to be ill for a couple of days more. Okay. How long have you known Tara? So that means that you knew Tara some time ago. Okay. So the idea here is that you talk about in the present perfect about something that started in the past but continues in the present. Look at the difference if I say, I worked there in June, or I have worked since June. Okay, I have worked there since June means that I'm still working there. But if I say I worked there in June, that means that I only worked in there 1 month, June, and then I stopped working. Yeah, see the difference? So that's kind of the difference between one or the other. Okay. Okay. Finally, to finish, I would like to show you a video in which they use the present perfect. Let me see if I can do it. It is already in your Google Classroom. Do you like Queen, Tiare?
Huh?
Do you like the group Queen?
No,
No, why not? It's
I
fantastic.
don't know who is.
You don't know Queen?
No.
Oh, it's gone. I will have to look for it in here. I have to look for it. Wait. Oops. See if I can find it in here.
If you're serious about your business, you need to build systems. You have to find a great tool like money.com to do it. So my biggest struggle always was that I was the bottleneck. And
Can you hear well?
Yes.
Yes, you can? All right. In here, in this song, which is famous, We Are the Champions, is a song that they play whenever a team wins a tournament or something like that. For example, when Chile became a bi-champion in South America, they play that song. Okay. And in here you have the words, and they use a lot of the present perfect. Okay. So take a look at it again. Let's start again. If you don't understand, ask me. Okay, I'm going to upload it today. This song is it's a nice song in any way, and you can see a lot of present perfect used in here. Was there anything that you didn't get in the context or in the words in the lyrics? I've paid my dues time after time. I've done my sentence but committed no crime. And but mistakes I made a few. See, is there anything that you didn't get? It says here, I've paid my dues. That means I've paid my debts. Okay, I have done what is necessary. I've paid my dues time after time. I've done my sentence. This is interesting. I've done my sentence, but committed no crime. Although I didn't make anything bad, I've done my sentence. Yeah, I was like judged, etc. Okay, so it's an interesting lyrics, and you can see the present perfect used. All right. So I think that we're going to finish, and I had a, but I don't know where I put it. Wait for me for a little while. Something related to the present perfect. I think I some exercises, but I have so many in here. I'm going to try to find it. No, I don't have it in here. But anyway, I'm going to upload today after the class something related to the present perfect. I don't know if I have it in here. Let's see. Yeah, this is another website in which you have the use of present perfect. Okay, it says here form of present perfect. You have the positive way, negative, and question. Yeah, some examples of you know in regular verbs, the way in which you have to change the participle in a little bit. For example, love, you put only the. In admit, you double the T. In trouble, you double the L. In hurry, you change the Y for an I, etc. And then ed. Then some uses of present perfect. And in here you have lots of exercises. In spelling, etc. For example, in here you have irregular verbs. And in here is kind of a contest in which you fight against the irregular verbs. For example, level 0, which are the easiest ones, for example, in here, and you can complete it. For example, tell me, Kimberly, the three forms. Are you there, Kimberly?
Yes, I'm here. Have, had, had.
Yeah, pretty simple. See? Bring, brought, sit, sat, find, found, do, did, done, etc. And then the difficulties start growing, okay? Level 1, level 2, and level 5, all irregular verbs, they are really difficult. These ones are really difficult, okay? So this is something to compete with the page. And also here you have some question in present perfect simple, question with the interrogative particles in present perfect simple, sentences with never in present perfect simple, etc. All exercises. For example, exercise on the text Loch Ness. For example, questions in present perfect simple. You answer the question. How would it be the question? Tiare? How would you ask the question with this in the present perfect?
Have you
Yeah.
answered the question?
Have you answered the question? Yes. Jenny locked the door. Kimberly? Kimberly? She's gone. Tiare. Jenny
Has
locked
Jenny locked the door?
the door, yeah. That's it.
Locked the door.
Walter, call us.
Has Walter called us?
Right, okay. So these are exercises. I'm going to upload it today too for you to do at home, okay? In which you can use the present perfect. You have lots of exercises here, okay? For example, in the text log nest, then in here you have test on present perfect. You have a test in here, level 1, level 2, and level 3. Grammar in text, for example, history of snowboarding, highlight verbs in present perfect, etc. Okay, so comparison with other tenses, for example, present perfects against simple past, etc. So you have lots of material here. I'm going to upload this today together with the class and with the song, etc. Okay, so that would be all for today. See you then, Tiare and Kimberly, if you are there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all for today. Is it still raining or not in your place?
No.
No.
No. Oh, I love. Did you hear the rain last night?
Yes, it was really loud.
Yeah. I woke up like at 4 o'clock in the morning and it was raining hard. I love that. I love to hear the rain. It's something that I enjoy a lot. You know, in the past, when I was a child, in Valparaiso, there were weeks with with rain. Sometimes it was raining 1 week, complete week, and now almost nothing. But anyway, now a little bit is better than nothing. Okay, now we have a little bit of rain. Okay, girls, that will be all for today. See you on Friday. Have a good
Bye,
Bye.
mister.
Cuídese.
day.
Adiós.
Bye bye.
Ciao.
See you.